What's going on, guys? Your boy Amazing. We're back with another video, and in today's video, guys, I wanted to go over some free-to-play units you guys can use as a new player to 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross. That'll help you get through the entire game, and they'll kind of be like your units that are like early game units, you know what I mean? So let's hop into it. Alright, so as you guys know, the one is dropping tonight at 10 p.m. EST. And I wanted to go over some units that you guys can like build out in preparation for the one, and also like units that you would want to build out as like an early game player playing the game. So if you just like started out 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross because of the one festival, like the 1-year anniversary, you want to hop in, this is definitely the video right here, because I'm going to explain the units you want to build out early on, and a lot of them are going to be free to play. Some of them are going to be like, you know, like oddballs, like you might not get them, whatever, like coin shop, something like that, but most of them are free to play and you'll be able to get them. So for the first one right here, we have the green Escanor. So as you guys know, the one Escanor is coming out, and he is obviously better than green Escanor, but this guy is a free-to-play unit now, being that in the update they actually said we're getting a free maxed out copy of green Escanor, level 80, you are 6-star. So green Escanor is a really good unit, man. He actually aged pretty well, surprisingly, because he came out around the half-year anniversary for global. Or no, he didn't come out the half year. It was like the 3 months in for global. Actually, it was like half year for JP. But he's really good, man. He fills all gauge on his single target card right here. It does a lot of damage as well, and then he just removes buffs on this card and applies ignite effects, which can increase the damage of your attacks. Which is pretty good. And then he has a nuke ultimate, just being raw attack, and then like increased damage with Merlin as a link. So like green Escanor, he's a really good unit early on. He's gonna carry you through like most events early on as well. Like you're not gonna have much issue running green Escanor. And another thing that's like a bonus for him is that he actually cleanses all debuffs and buffs whenever he gets to max ult gauge. So he cannot be debuffed or buffed, which can be like a hindrance, but it can also be like really good, so you don't get like sealed or anything like that. Green Escanor is a very good unit early on, man. If you are a new player, definitely get that level 80 green Escanor and use him. If you don't pull the one, he'll definitely carry you through most of the early game. The next unit we're going to go over is Redhauser, and Redhauser still nowadays, like he still puts up a pretty good like fight, you know what I mean? He came out on the release of 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross for JP, and he came like pretty early on global. It was about like a month in, I think, or less than a month, like maybe like 3 weeks. Redhauser was a very good unit, man, and he still is to this day because of this one skill right here, being the rank up skill. There's only 2 units in the game that have this skill, being Redhauser and green Hauser. Obviously the new green Hauser is better than Redhauser, but he is still to this day a very good unit. He has AoE attack disable, which can be very good against like some PvE fights. There is a fight like early on in story where you fight against like Redhauser, Gustav, and like all them guys, or like you have to use those units. Redhauser will come in clutch for you in that fight, because you could just spam attack seals and they can't do anything to you. So he's really good because of that. His rank up obviously very broken. Increases skill ranks of all allies or one ally, or all allies and basic stat increase for 3 turns. Very good. And then he depletes ultimate move gauge depending on like if you have King Link or not. 5 if you have King Link, 3 if you don't. And he can scale up to 600% with King Link, and then 525 without. He's just so good, man. He's like, as you can see, like even on the unit rating from what it shows for Redhauser, that still stacks up to this day. Like you can use him in all content in the game and he'll carry you through the entire game. Having a rank up unit makes it so it's just a breeze. Like it's just a walk in the park. And another thing to note as well about Redhauser is that we're actually getting him for free on the comeback banner. Alright, so this is the banner right here that actually gets you a free copy of Redhauser. This banner has a lot of units you get for free on it, as well as it's like catered to newer players, and a lot of these units on this like little pool here that you get guaranteed, I actually go over in the rest of the video, but Redhauser you get on step 4. So after you log in, I think it's about like 5 days you get Redhauser, because there is like 1 day of the login bonus where you don't, but they max out Redhauser for you and give you a free copy, so you're going to be able to use him throughout like most of your content early on in the game, and he'll definitely carry you through most of it. And while we're on Blue Demon Melios here, we might as well like hop into his details here, because he is also on the free banner, and he is the first step of the free banner. So the moment you log in with a brand new account, you're going to be able to start off with Blue Demon Melios. So let's hop into what Blue Demon Meliodas can do. Alright, so Blue Team Meliodas, he came out like a decent amount of time after Green Escanor. He's a really good unit, man, or he was at the time, and I mean he still is to this day a little bit like on a specific team, but Blue Team Meliodas is very good because of this one card he has right here, which is the Pierce card, and the Pierce card inflicts 3 times Pierce rate, which is a stat right here that increases your basically like your penetration damage, like how much it does through resistance on the enemy. And Blue Team Meliodas is a very powerful unit because the fact he cannot be attack sealed whenever he has gauge less than 4 orbs, and he has this like the Pierce card being very powerful right here. If you have Blue Lilia, this can be like super insane. Like there are times where you can hit like 250k AoE, 300k AoE. He is just like super powerful with this card, right? And the way Pierce works in 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross, it makes it like super broken. And then his second card here is kind of slept on. I mean, it inflicts corrosion. It can be somewhat useful depending on how much HP is on the enemy, but you mainly apply this for your ultimate that Blue Team Meliodas has, where he's able to inflict weak point damage equal to 385% of attack on one enemy, and that can scale up to 578% without Merlin Link and 660% with Merlin Link. So he's gonna be very strong. He's gonna carry you through like most farming content in the game because of this AoE card. Blue Team Meliodas is a farming unit. I meme about it, but he is the farming team unit. You only run him really when you're doing like farming events and stuff like that, just because he clears the content super quick. But yeah, like he's still a really good unit to this day. You can actually still run him somewhat like decently, not like insane because of Liz Shield and stuff like that. But for PvE content, he'll carry you through like the early game easily when you're doing farming. So that's a really good unit right there. And then the next unit we're going to go over is going to be Redhauser. And Hauser is a unit you don't actually get through the like early game like as a free unit, but you can actually get him in the gold coin shop. So if we move over to my Grand Cross real quick, you can actually pull Redhauser on this banner and it'll instantly max him out at a 0.25%. But every unit on this banner is a max out instantly as well. But if we go to the coin shop right here, you can actually see that Redhauser is a free-to-play unit in the gold coin shop. You can actually pick him up here and you'll be able to get a copy of him here. He might also be discounted depending on the week as well, so you're able to get him for 20 coins. And Hauser is just a really good unit, man, because of his utility and how much he can clear farming content very easily for you. The reason Hauser is so good is because he has Pierce, which, as you guys know from Blue Team Melios, as I explained, Pierce is a really good skill because it does like a lot of penetration damage, AoE. And then you also have this card right here, which inflicts Sever damage, and Sever actually got buffed as a skill, so it now does 3 times crit chance when it used to do 2 times. And the card does a lot of damage, man. Like it really does. Like even though Hauser has like really low like stats other than his crit chance and crit damage and stuff like that, like it is just a really good card regardless. And Hauser is definitely like the go-to farming unit for noob like early game players because he's able to clear any like free stage content, any like event dungeon if you get him built up enough, any content where you need a farm like overnight or anything like that. Hauser is a really good option, man. He'll get through most of it because he has double AoE, and then his ultimate is also AoE, decreasing skill ranks and depleting ultimate move gauge. So he's just a really good unit early on. If you need a good farming unit, him and Blue Team Meliodas work very well. You can actually run them both together to clear like most like early game farming content. But yeah, like really good unit, and I still use Hauser to this day, surprisingly. He's still really good for like free stage and stuff, so that's a really good unit right there. The next unit we're going to go over is going to be Green Arthur. So Green Arthur is going to be a free unit we get through the event. So right here, as you can see, the main reward is going to be getting a free maxed out level 80 Green Arthur, and you can also pull him on the 1 Escanor banner right here. Let me just scroll up. Though yeah, he'll definitely be on the 1 Escanor banner as well, as you can see. You can get him through the event, or you can pull him in the actual summons. So this is going to be like a really good way to get him. And Arthur is a very good unit early on, and even like end game content worthy. Like Arthur can do a lot, man, because he's able to increase the allies damage dealt by 35% and decrease allies damage taken by 35% if all allies are alive. Applies when entering battle, excludes PvP and deathmatch. So basically what this means is that Arthur is going to carry you through most towers in the game. For any new player that doesn't really know what that is, it's like an end game content thing where you're able to go through like a whole tower using like a set of 4 units, and Arthur will carry you through a lot of that. him and like green Escanor, like let's say you don't pull the one, if you run him with green Escanor and like another human, like maybe like Redhauser or something, you're gonna clear the tower like pretty easily. I don't think there's much difficulty with that, because of like how powerful Arthur can be for the team, increasing the damage dealt and taking less damage for your team. So he's just really good on like a PvE team. He's very good for farming as well because he has an AoE card right here. His first skill is single target, so it's not as good, but it does remove buffs and disable buffs and debuffs for 2 turns, so it's pretty good as well. But you mainly use Arthur for his passive and for his AoE card right here, the Silent Slash. Other than that, you know, he's just a general like SSR unit, but he's a very good unit in some endgame content that's PvE related, so he can be really good for that. Another unit that you should be building out early on is going to be Blue King, and Blue King is actually a free-to-play unit you get through the story. He's also a coin shop sin, so you can actually pick him up in the SSR coin shop as well, but I'd recommend not building him out like that heavily. Like I would only say get him to like level 80. You don't really need much more investment for Blue King. He's just a good unit overall because of his Petrify skill right here, where basically Petrify makes it so the enemy can't do anything for 1 turn or 2 turns depending on the level. And then he also has a Cleanse card, which Cleanse has fallen off in the meta on PvP, but Cleanse is still very busted in PvE because you can still like cleanse all debuffs, fully heal. Like Blue King is a very good PvE unit early on, and he still is to this day like as a good unit in PvP. You can somewhat use him viably if you run him with like Goddess Elizabeth, so he you know, he has some like viable use over time. And he's like really good for early game content. He'll carry you through most things. He buffs fairies with his passive as well, and his ultimate is Shatter AoE, so he just does a lot of damage with that, and you don't really have to worry about like dying with King on your team because he'll just full heal you with his Cleanse card. So another very good unit right there. And the final unit we're going to go over for early new game players is going to be Hawk. So Hawk you're actually going to be getting free as well in the comeback banner. So I'll just pull up the comeback banner again real quick. Alright, so as you guys can see, Hawk is going to be the guaranteed unit on step 2 of the comeback banner. So day 2 you're going to be getting Hawk, and the reason why Hawk is so good is because of his passive right here. So his passive increases all stats of the hero by 50% during like celebrations. And so if you guys don't already know, Hawk has pretty decent stats already. Like I'll switch over to GC database real quick just to show you. As you can see, like his stats are pretty decent for being a free-to-play SSR unit, but most of his substats are like pretty mid, but like his attack is pretty good, his HP is pretty good, and his defense is good as well. And when you give him 50% bonus stats to Hawk, he becomes a very busted unit. Like him in PvE, like if you run him along with Arthur, you're not gonna die with Hawk in PvE content. Like anything that's like easy content, or any like PvE content that's not like a, you know, like a raid or anything like that, Hawk and Arthur will carry you through that, man. You're not gonna have many issues with it. And being that Hawk, like his cards aren't even that like special or anything. Like he has single target, pierce, and then explode. They're not very like insane cards, but when he's getting the buff from being in the event with 50% increased stats to the hero, Hawk is a very good PvE unit, man. And he's probably as good, or if not better, than Green Escanor. So if you want to build out Hawk for any like PvE content, he's definitely worth it. Like he really is. And you're gonna get him maxed out anyway. Like most of these units are getting maxed out from the banner, so like, you don't really have to worry about that, getting that. Most of them are gonna be maxed out. So yeah, those are the main units I think early on as a new player you should be building out if you're playing 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe as always, and if you guys want to see more videos like this, definitely let me know in the comment section below. Another last thing I want to mention before I wrap up the video, make sure to check out my stream I'm going to be doing on the one Escanor later tonight. It's going to be at about 10:30 p.m. EST. That's when the banner is going to be dropping. It says like 7:30 p.m. PST. And it's going to be really good, man. We're going to be summoning for the one. We're going to see how many copies we can get for him, and I definitely can't wait to see all of you pull up and see me get shafted, you know. But yeah, that's going to be it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Peace out.